Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Betty and I'm here again with another tutorial. We are going to be making this beautiful unisex hats together, and if this is your first time you coming across my video, please do not forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Alright, so without wasting more time, let's dive into the video. Alright, so for this tutorial I'll need these following requirements. Alright, so I'll need my tape measure and I'll need my scissor, and in this tutorial I'm going to be using my 3mm hook. Alright, and then I'll need my yarn. You can use any type of yarn, any colors of your choice. For me, I'm going to be mixing these 3 colors of yarn. So go ahead and choose the colors you need and mix them the way you like, as we are going to see. Alright, so this is what I'm going to use for this tutorial. Alright, so now for the start, we are going to start with the knot, and this is how I make my knots, like this. I chain 2, then pull my yarn from down like this, then start chaining 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we have a chain of 5. Then insert your hook in the last chain like this and grab the yarn like that and pass through both loops like this. So now here we have our magic ring. Alright, next I'll chain 1, then make a half double crochet, and this is how I make my half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn, pass through like this, then yarn over and pass through all of them once like that. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn, pass through, then yarn over like this and pass through all of them. That is a half double crochet. So continue with your half double crochets until you have a total of 12 half double crochets. Then I'll meet you. Alright, so I'm here with my 12 half double crochets, and the next thing is to slip stitch on top of the first chain 1 like this, like that. Alright, so next I'll chain 1, then in the first stitch I'll make a half double crochet, and this will count as 2 half double crochets in the same space. Then I'll go to the next stitch and make another half double crochet. In that same space I'll make a second half double crochet like this. Alright, next is a half double crochet, and still in that same space I'll go in with another half double crochet, and this is what we are going to be doing all around. So go in each stitch with 2 half double crochets in each stitch until you get to the end of the row. Then I'll meet you there. Alright, so I'm at the end of this row, and what we are going to do is to just slip stitch on top of the first chain one that you chained before on your previous row, like this. Alright, next chain one, then under that first stitch, under that chain one, make a half double crochet. Always start with your half double crochet under that chain one space down. Then next you go in with the half double crochet, and that same space another half double crochet. You have two half double crochets, sorry, the same space. All right, so next you go in with one half double crochet like this, and the next you go in the next stitch with the two half double crochets in the same space like this. All right, next will be one half double crochet, and the next will be two half double crochets in the same space. So this is what you're going to go with: two half double crochets in the same space. Then next is one half double crochet in the same space. All right, so I'm at the end of the row, and what you need to do is just to slip stitch on top of chain one space like this. All right, next you chain one, then under that chain one space in the first stitch you make your first half double crochet like this. Then you go to the next stitch, make a half double crochet like this. Then you have two half double crochets. In the third stitch, make two half double crochets in the same space. All right, that's one, and in that same space another half double crochet. All right, next is one half double crochet, next is one half double crochet, then in the next is two half double crochets in the same space, and that is what we are going to be doing all around. All right, so now it is one one two, one one two. All right, so go around, then we'll meet at the end of the row. All right, so I'm at the end of the row. Then next is to slip stitch like this. All right, so next I'll chain one, then under that first stitch, under that first chain one down, I'll make my first half double crochet like this, and then next, that is in the next stitch, I'll make another one half double crochet. Next is another one half double crochet, sorry. All right, so I have three. Then in the fourth I'll make two half double crochets in the same space. All right, so this row is three half double crochets, then two in the same space, that is 1 2 3. Then in the fourth is two, that is double. All right, so now continue until you get to the end of the row, then I'll meet you at the end of the row and show you how my work is. All right. All right, so I'm at the end of the row. Okay, so next is to slip stitch like this. Then you can see my work has started coming out. All right, so this is what we have. Okay, so next I'll chain one. Then in the first stitch under that chain one, there's small stitch. Make a first half double crochet. Then next is another half double crochet. Next is another half double crochet. Next is another half double crochet. Then next is 2 half double crochets in the same space like this. All right, so let's go again. 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 4 half double crochets. Then in the fifth you make 2 half double crochets in the same space. All right, so if you followed me to this far and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do so that you will not miss out when I drop any tutorial. And subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first to be notified when I drop the tutorial. Thank you and God bless you. Alright, so you will continue with that method until you get to the end of the row, and yeah, I'll meet you. Okay, so this is the end of my row, and I'll slip stitch, and next I'll chain one, then my first half double crochet will be in the first stitch under that chain one like this. Next I'll have another half double crochet, that is 2. Next, that is 3 half double crochets. Next, that is 4 half double crochet. Next, that is 5 half double crochet, and then next to be 2 half double crochets in the same space. All right, like this. Okay, let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the sixth is going to be 2 half double crochets in the same space like this, so you continue with this method until you get 6 inches. All right, until you get 6 inches of your work. Okay, so here it is easier and you can find where there's 2. Now for example, there's 2 half double crochets in the same space. It is seen already, so you can just go ahead and make your 2 half double crochets like this in the same space. All right, then again you continue, and when you reach where you have your 2 half double crochets, you can just go ahead and put your 2 half double crochets in the same space. And always remember, after chaining one, make your first half double crochet under that chain one space. All right, so here we have again our 2 half double crochets in the same space like this, and that is what you're going to be following until you get 6 inches, all right, of your work or of your panel. All right, so continue with this, then I'll meet you with my 6 inches. All right, so I'm back, and this is how my work is looking. This is my 6 inches. And now the next thing we are going to do is to chain 1, then start working at your back loop. All right, work in your back loop like this with your half double crochet. All right, so we are making our half double crochets, but in the back loop only, like this. Next, another half double crochet in our back loop. Next, another half double crochet in our back loop, and this is what you're going to be doing all around until you get back to the end of the row. Then I'll meet you. Alright, so I'm at the end of the row, and I'm going to be attaching another different color of the yarn, and this is how I attach my yarn. Alright, okay, so after attaching your yarn, you chain 1 like this, then start with your first half double crochet in the back loop. All right, in the back loop like this. Okay, so next will be another half double crochet in the next back loop, and next is another half double crochet in the back loop, and this is what you're going to be doing until you get a total of 10 half double crochets in the back loops. Then I'll meet you and show you what to do next. Alright, so now here I'm having my 10 half double crochets, and the next thing we are going to do is to make a double crochet now in the down row, and it is in the front loop now like this. Alright, make your double crochet in the down row but in the front loop like this. So this pattern is all about working 2 different loops. You work in the front loop differently and you work in the front loop differently, as we are going to see, or as we are seeing it. So go ahead and get a total of 10 double crochets of this front loop in the down row, then I'll show you what to do next. All right. Alright, so here I have my 10 double crochets in the front loop. Then we'll go back to our first half double crochet in the back loop. Alright, like this. Alright, then start with your half double crochets in the back loop until you get a total of 10 half double crochets. So this pattern is all about working 2 different loops. That is, you work in the front loop separately, and you work on the back loop separately. You don't join the loops together. All right. Okay, so continue until you get a total of 10 half double crochets in the back loop. The next we'll be working in our front loop, but in the lower row or on the previous row, like this, with our first double crochet. All right, next is another double crochet in your front loop, but on the previous row. So this is what you're going to do all around until you get to the end of the row. Yeah, then I'll meet you at the end of the row and show you how to do it, because when you get to the next row, at least it will be easier for you to understand. All right, okay. All right, so I'm at the end of the row, and what I'm doing now is to change the yarn to another different color of yarn. So go ahead and attach your different color of yarn, then slip stitch or close up your row like this. Then after you chain now chain two, because we are starting with our double crochet. So we chain two and start working in your previous row in the front loop. All right, remember we started with our half double crochet in the back loop. Now we are working in our front loop with the double crochet. So go ahead in the first stitch in your lower row or your previous row and work a double crochet, or make your first double crochet like this. All right, again go to the second loop, that is front loop, and make your second double crochet, and make this until you get a total of 10, or until you get to where you started your double crochets before. Then I'll meet you there. Sorry about this, power is off, but we move. All right, so I think, or I hope you have your 10 double crochets like I said before. Okay, so now here we are working in our back loop, that is a half double crochet in your back loop like this. Okay, next it is a back loop but with a half double crochet like this. Next is a half double crochet in your back loop until you get to the end of these 10 double crochets that you're working on. Then I'll meet you. All right, so I'm at the end of the last double crochet on top. So I'm going ahead with my first double crochet, which is in the front post in the previous row like this. All right, again in the second loop, that is in the previous row, you go in with your double crochet, and this is what you're going to do until you get to where you start working your half double crochets. So this pattern here, now it will be easier for you to understand. You will just follow where there's a half double crochet, you're going to go in the first loop, that is the front loop, with the double crochet. Okay, so now we have our 10 double crochets in the front loop in the previous row. Next it will be a back loop. So now when you get here where there's a double crochet already, you make your half double crochets in the back loop. All right, and this is the pattern we're going to use all around until you come back to your down end of the row. Then yeah, I'll show you what to do next. All right, so I'm at the end of the row here, and next thing is to attach your different color of yarn now. All right, so I'm going back to the green color. Okay, I'm going back to the green color. So go ahead and attach. You can use 4 different colors, you can use 5, you can use 6, you can use any color of colors that you love to mix. All right, so next I'll chain 1 because I'm working on the back loop with the half double crochet. So I'll chain 1 in the first loop, that is the back loop. I'll make my first half double crochet. Next is another half double crochet, and next is another half double crochet. And remember, I'm working only my back loop like this. Okay, like this. Okay, and this is what we're going to make, or this is what we're going to be doing all around. Okay, so the pattern is chain 1 if you're starting with the half double crochet, and if you're starting with the double crochet, you chain 2. And if you're working a half double crochet, make sure you work in your back loop with the half double crochet. Then when you're working a double crochet, that means you're working in the front loop but in the previous row, like this. So it's back loop separate, front loop separate, like this. I hope you understand. If you did not understand this part, please write your questions down in the comment section, and I'll be glad and eager to answer all your questions. All right, so otherwise, if you've followed us from the start to here and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do not forget to subscribe for these beautiful tutorials. And for all my returning subscribers, I'll say thank you so much for supporting me, for liking my videos, and for all the comments. I really appreciate you all, and I say shout out to all of you, and I love you all. All right, okay, so let's continue. We are now working in our back loop with our half double crochet. So half double crochets in the back loop, and the double crochet is in the front post, front loop, sorry, but in the previous row. All right, so this is what we are going to do. When you come back to the end of the row, you just change your yarn and continue the same thing. But before you continue, if you're starting your row with the half double crochet, make sure you chain 1. If you're starting your row with the double crochet, make sure you chain 2. All right, and this is what you're going to make, or what you're going to be going with until you get to the end of the row. All right, so I'm at the end of the row, and I just wanted to show you the last time. I think how to attach your yarn again. So we are done with the green color. We're attaching another one like this. So your yarns are supposed to be inside. You don't need to cut them, okay? So you leave them until you're done with your work. That's when you cut all of them off, so it will be easier for you to attach. So next we're starting with the double crochet, and I said when you start with the double crochet, chain 2, then start working in your front loop that is in the previous row like this, like that. Okay, yeah, so continue until you get a total of 15 rows. All right. All right, so I'm back and I went ahead and made a total of 8 rows. All right, 8 rows. So go ahead and make 8 rows, or it depends on the height of your heart that you want. Then I'll show you what next to do. Can you see inside? Can you see inside? I love this hat. I love this hat so much. So the inside is very beautiful. And now to continue, you go ahead and start making your single crochets now, like this. Go inside in each stitch with your single crochet all around until you get back to the end of this row. Okay, so this row is all about single crochets. Remember, it is chain 1 before you start your row. Now continue and I will meet you at the end of the row. Alright, so I'm at the end of the row and I'm slip stitching like this. Then now we'll start working on our, how will I call this part now, God? Okay, so to continue, chain 1, then make your half double crochet. That same space, make another half double crochet. We have 2. Then next, make 1 half double crochet. And the next is 2 half double crochets in the same space. So we are making an increase of flyer. Will I call it a flyer? I don't know how I'll call it past. Next is another half double crochet, and next is 2 half double crochets in the same space. So we are making 2 half double crochets in the same space. Then next is 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 all around until get to the end of the row. We are trying to increase now to make it fly. I don't know how I'll call it, but as we are working, we'll find out what we are trying to do. All right, so go ahead with the 2 half double crochets in the same space, then 1 half double crochet, next 2 half double crochets all around. Then I'll meet you when you're here. All right, so I'm back and I still have more stitches to go with my half double crochets. Okay, so this is 1. Next will be 2 half double crochets in the same space. Then next will be 1 half double crochet. Then the last one, I'll make 2 half double crochets in the same space, and that is all. Then next is to slip stitch like this. Okay, so next I'll chain 1 like this, then continue with my half double crochet. So now here I'm making half double crochets in each stitch. No increase, but only one half double crochet in each stitch all around until I get to the end of the row. So go ahead and do so, then we'll meet at the end of the row. Alright, so I'm at the end of the row and I still have like 2 half double crochets. Then next is to slip stitch like this. And now this is how our work is looking. This is how far we have gone, and you can see it has started increasing or flying. All right, so this is what we were trying to do before. This is what we wanted, okay, to make this. So now continue and make a total of 5 half double crochets in each stitch. All right, a total of 5 half double crochets in each stitch. Then cut off your yarn and weave in all your ends. Then that will be all for today's tutorial. So I'll say thank you so much for starting with me and ending this video with me. I'm so glad, I'm happy, I appreciate you all, and I do not take your love for granted. I love you all and see you in my next video. Bye bye.